Alright, just got some settings adjusted, so I got this thing running really smooth. I got it, I got the recovery happening, so it recovers on spin down, full throttle start with Hall sensor startup, all that stuff's working properly. I got a lot of stuff sorted out, got it running pretty smooth at 115 volts. So now I have 228 volts, which reminds me, I need to change that in here. There's 3 major things I need to change. And I might have had that set incorrectly because I had it at 100 volts. I had it at 114. It's probably close enough though. 228. So I'm at 228 volts right now. And then we're gonna save that. I like to save that first so that if something happens and it conks out, I don't forget to save that later. We're going to try current sensor calibration again. This could get scary. Seems okay, it calibrated. They're out a little bit more than they used to be. I like to save that as well in case the field orientated control loses its info. And then we're going to do a field orientated control measurement, or inductance measurement, E. Okay, 241 microhenries, that's about where I believe it to be, so it's actually reading more accurate than I think it used to be. We'll store all the parameters, and we'll try running it, see what it does when I push this button. There we go, we're running with 227 volts, and I have some field weakening applied right now. That's why you can hear it spinning so fast. Now I'm just about to try 343 volts on this thing. Said this is 347 volts. Let's see if it runs. Yeah. There you go, it runs at 347 volts. Alright, I have this thing charged up to 458 volts. I am going to try, I have my scope ready so I can attempt to get the max RPM out of this thing. Now I only have a little bit of field weakening added, 458 volts, I have to enter that now. Now let's just double check. I think I have my field weakening set to like 35 amps or something. So, oh, I must have done an auto, whatchamacallit, phase current limit, maximum field weakening current. I must have done a recalibration and forgot about it. I did try field weakening earlier, it does work. Nonetheless, I'm going to make sure this thing will spin with 458 volts first. So first thing is first, I have to do an inductance measurement. I want to double check that accept the battery voltage. Yep. So now inductance measurement, I, and E. Now everything should be safe. I have a circuit breaker and a fuse in the system. Try to adjust my headphones. I have it set on because if something blows up, it's pretty loud at this voltage. And I'm going to get my face shield down over top of my safety glasses. Well, that seems to have accepted that. That's a very good sign because that actually would diagnose a lot of faults earlier in my controller life of development. So save it. Well, I'm going to show you something before I try and run it. Out of this hole earlier, I think I saw steam. So I'm going to try, and that's where my, there's an end bearing in the motor there. This motor is actually from a flooded Nissan Leaf. That's why I had to build an inverter. It was full of salt water. Nonetheless, I have a UVW sensor on the end of the rotor there that I put in the end of the rotor so I could actually get a Hall sensor output for Hall startup. I'm going to push one button here. That should activate it so I can try and run it. Yeah, that is 452 volts spun up. Oh man, that's so exciting. Watch that hole for steam. You can see a little bit coming out right now. Not sure why that is. Probably just a bit of moisture. It hasn't come out of the windings for a while. I'm going to spin it up again and get an RPM reading. I'm going to try and do that with the I don't even know what to do with the phone. I'll probably just set it down, not sure where, maybe over here. I may or may not get any video, but I'll leave it going just in case something cool happens, that's for sure. You guys have no idea how exciting that is. That's a game changer for my life right there. I've worked over a year and a half on this one. I've worked like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now on controller development, and this is actually going to go in that rusty old red piece of crap right there. I'm going to make a little sleeper. This thing's going to be so much fun, and well, sky's the limit. I have tons of people who need controllers for this stuff. Do-it-yourself hot rod guys are really looking for these things now, so I'm very excited. I'm just going to try and get a measurement. Get that set there. Every 4 of these little bumps, we'll adjust it out a bit. Get on the edge of one. Every 4th one is 1 revolution. So from here to here, that's 1 revolution. I like to go and count 8, then divide it by 2. I find that more accurate. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. And right there, that's 13.1 milliseconds per 2 revolutions. So now I'll just go and I'll calculate that. What did I say it was? 13.1. .55 per 1 revolution. So then 1 second. Whoops. Divided by 0.0065 153 RPM per second times 60 gives us 9,230 RPM right there. This thing is rated to spin 10,000 RPM, so I have that set up fairly well. We can add carefully while we're here 5 amps of field weakening. Let's just go in and do that. Oops, I gotta set this here. Current settings. My heart's going a little bit excited about this, so I'm definitely not as quick to, and it's cold as shit in the shop right now. I think it's 0 degrees in here, but I can't put this off because I'm gonna get busy as hell in the spring. There's no need to wait. So now we'll have 5 amps of field weakening. Rule of thumb is I only have the phase current set to 70 amps right now. That's gonna eventually, when I replace all my IGBTs back with the more powerful ones, I'm gonna set that all the way up to probably a peak of between 600 and 700, maybe as far as 800 if I can keep things cool and everything. I've got to really carefully ease up on that max. right now the ones that are in there are rated for 600 when they're at 80 degrees, and the ones that I'm planning to put back in are rated for 800 amps at 80 degrees Celsius. So the ones that are in there right now, I could probably run realistically 500 to 600 amp peak, as long as I watch the temperature and everything. So anyways, that is set. And that phase current is a peak. So you divide that by, or times that by 0.0 or 0.707, and that'll give you a rough idea. As long as you got all your settings correct and your design is all correct to work with inductance of the motor and everything, it'll give you a realistic RMS value. Okay, we'll save that to the motor, or to the controller. Okay, we'll try this one more time, and then I'm gonna clear this, because then I can just watch it, and then I'll probably set the phone down and do the same thing. So it's good. There we go. So now I'm gonna set the phone down. I dropped the phone while I was trying to set it down. I just spun it up to max RPM with only 5 amps field weakening, just to get a comparison in the RPM, max RPM this thing is going to be spun out with only 5 amps field weakening. I want to move that in. So now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 12.7 milliseconds for 8. The reason I am doing that, in case I edit that part of the video, is I measured 8 peaks, which is actually 8 electrical revolutions. This has got 4 magnetic pole pairs. I did 8 because it's more accurate to measure 2 complete revolutions, then divide it by 2 to get the number, so it's 6.35 clear. So now 1 second divided by 0.00635. 157 RPM per second times 60. So that's 94.48 RPM just by adding 5 amps of field weakening. I think I'm going to call that a success. Again, that's at 456 volts, so everything looks really good. I'm going to call that a success. Shut this thing down before I get hurt. And I'm going to come back, clean everything up, and it's going in the car. Hell yeah.